Simply stunning. After so many days at sea, it was wonderful to see land again. We're sailing through the Strait of Gibraltar. Too bad we didn't get a chance to explore the Rock of Gibraltar. Stay tuned to find out more about our experience aboard the Norwegian Epic.
Hello and welcome. I am Trinice West, and this is my husband, Kevin. We recently retired, and our channel is all about our retirement journey, our travels across the U.S. and throughout the world. Join us on our adventures.
We boarded the ship, and the first thing that you have to do is check into your muster station. Norwegian sends out a safety video a gazillion times before you arrive on the ship. You don't have to do the traditional muster drill anymore like you did in the past. We ate our first lunch in the buffet. After lunch, we went to the gym to check out the fitness classes. Kevin signed up for the gym pass, which was $99 for unlimited classes during the cruise. They only have so many slots. If you don't get the pass, the fitness classes were $20 a piece, which I thought was a little pricey. So I didn't sign up for anything. You should also make any reservations during this time as well. We signed up for the show, Burn the Floor, and we had already signed up for 2 specialty restaurants several weeks before the cruise. The 12 days flew by quickly. There were a lot of activities planned for you to do, or you could do nothing. The ship holds about 4,000 passengers and 1,700 crew members. On this cruise, there were about 3,000 passengers on board, and I was really surprised. It was not high season, but it seemed to be pretty full to me. The weather was chilly most of the cruise, which was disappointing. We rarely used the balcony in our cabin, but it was nice to wake up to a stunning sunrise each morning. The balcony upgrade was a mixed bag. Our original cabin was an inside cabin on the 11th deck in the middle of the ship, so you felt less movement. This balcony cabin was in the aft section, or back of the ship, so we felt the movement more there. There were some days when the ship was really rocking, and you can feel it. The last sea day was a little miserable because there were massive waves in the Mediterranean Sea. I spent most of the morning in bed. However, if they offered the upgrade again, I would accept it, despite the rocking, because it was beautiful.
So the first thing I want to do is, of course, when everyone's cruising, they talk about the food. And with us being on a 12-day cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line, the food was very important.
There are 2 main dining rooms. The Manhattan room was more elegant, and the food in both restaurants was good. Taste is the dining restaurant that serves breakfast in the morning and dinner in the evening. It was a little more laid back than the Manhattan room, but a step up from the garden buffet. There's a stunning crystal chandelier in the middle of the restaurant.
And then O'Sheehan's is a little pub bar that is very good. And then you have your specialty restaurants. And then, of course, you have your regular buffet style at the Garden restaurant.
Yeah. And so when with the package that we bought with Norwegian Cruise Line, I had 2 specialty restaurants included with our reservation. And so we went to what's it called? Teppanyaki, which is like a hibachi Japanese place. And the food was really good. I thought it was good. It was a lot of food. So, but they, cook it in front of you. You got the whole, hibachi experience with the cooking. You didn't have the fire because we were on a ship, but you had a lot of the, doing the little tricks and singing songs and things like that. So I thought it had really good customer service there. And then, Kevin, you want to tell them about what was the other Moderno?
The Moderno is the Brazilian steakhouse.
So we have a reservation today for the Brazilian Steakhouse Moderna, and very nice environment. Turn around, you see it. So there's Kevin, and we have a view
outside our window. Very nice. It's a very nice restaurant.
Food was overall good. You get your salad bar at the start, and then of course they bring around different cuts of meat. Everything from steak, pork, chicken, all that is laid out. Overall quality of the cuts of meat that they brought around was acceptable. It was good. Uh, uh, if you've done the Brazilian steakhouse before, it wasn't anything that stuck out as special. It was just, it was good, but it wasn't anything like it was, oh, this is wonderful. But if you've done the Brazilian steakhouse before, you probably would say, okay, it's okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought the food was good. They had a pretty good selection. I'm not a big meat eater, so yeah, for me, Brazilian restaurant or whatever. So I don't know if I would pay extra to have to go to those specialty ones. I mean, it was included. So, but and then we really wanted to get in Cagney's, the steakhouse, but I mean, everything was booked up unless you went like at 9:30 at night. And we don't eat that late, so I wasn't too thrilled about trying to do that one. As far as quality and taste overall with the restaurants, I thought overall the food on Norwegian is pretty good. I think it could be a little hotter. Some dishes came out very hot, and then some were just,
Yeah,
warm.
some were just warm, and I would say that the big difference, check out the Italian, check out the French, if that's more your thing. But because of where we're going, we didn't do any Italian restaurants because we figured we're going to get a lot of Italian here in Europe, especially in Italy, over the next month or so. So we purposely didn't do that. But also, she was saying some of the food is not piping hot. If you like that, make sure you request it, especially during the breakfast time. If you're eating breakfast, you want your food to be really hot. Then the second thing, we found that the desserts in the buffet restaurant, the Garden Cafe, is the buffet restaurant on Epic. We found that the desserts there were better in most cases than in the main dining hall. Taste in the uh, Manhattan. We found that the dessert was better. Now I will say, last night we ate at Manhattan, and the carrot cake
Yeah,
was
it's
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that's true. And also, there are long lines too. So if the restaurant opens at 5, try to get there beforehand because the lines were long. They do move quickly, but the lines are long for the main dining rooms. And then also, what I thought was cute, they have jazz in the Manhattan, the main dining facility there, and so that was kind of nice to listen to jazz in the evenings in that particular restaurant.
Or get there a little bit later, let the lines dissipate. Don't be one of the first to go through. 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, most of the lines are gone.
That's true. And then usually they play the jazz later on in the evening anyway. So if you got there
Hmm.
early, sometimes at 5:30, you missed it. So because I want to say they start about 6:30, so it's a little bit later. So that's something to think about. And one of the things I did like, I'm not a big buffet person, especially after the pandemic, so I wasn't looking forward to doing the buffet. But I like the fact that they had people there monitoring it. So they had someone there along the serving line, watching and making sure that people weren't still doing things they weren't supposed to be doing, and just kind of monitoring the buffet line. So that kind of put my mind at ease about eating at the buffet. Okay, so the next area is physical fitness. Because you're eating all this food, it's nice to kind of stay in shape and stay fit. And especially with us being on a 12-day, mostly sea days, we only had two ports that we were going to on this particular cruise. And so we really wanted to continue to stay physically fit because we get to Europe, we're going to be there until June. Well, almost 2 months, 7, 8 weeks. several weeks, a lot of weeks. And we knew there'd be a lot of walking, so we wanted to make sure we stayed in shape while we were on this particular cruise. So one of the things that we decided to do was do the stairs instead of using the elevator. So the first day we got on board, oh my gosh, I was dying. I mean, I would get up a flight of steps and be huffing and puffing. And then, each day it got a little bit better.
Okay. Yes. Where are you?
And now I can go to maybe 3 flights or have to stop. So I am getting better at it. He's in much better shape than I am, but I do a lot of walking, walk for miles, but steps are a lot harder for me. But this is great. And it's definitely going to get us in shape for Airbnb that you'll see when we get to Lisbon. There's a lot of hills there too. So wanted to definitely use the stairs. I think we've only used the elevators twice. Once when we got somewhere, we wanted to get to breakfast before they closed. And then we did a lot of walking yesterday. We were at another port, and so we took the elevator down. But we went doing really well.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about the gym?
Yeah, talk about the gym, but also we took from a couple other YouTubers, John and Bev, and they talked about the intermittent fasting, how they lost about 17 pounds. So we talked about food earlier. So if you can, get into the intermittent fasting piece, and that'll help you also lose some of that. Now, onto the gym. With Norwegian, you can select a gym pass. Gym pass is normally about $99, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can do it for one person or you can do it for two. So, or I guess however many you got in your
$99 per person. Yeah.
Right. Make sure, if you're going to do the gym pass, and that gives you access to spin classes, yoga, TRX or Trex. I think they had a boot camp also. Now, I've only can talk to you from my experience with the spin class. Look for Johnny. Johnny's from, I believe, Australia. Young guy. He really will give you a good workout. You'll put some sweat on the floor if you're spinning with him. But those are primarily the things in the gym itself. You got treadmills, ellipticals, you got free weights, you got machines, you got everything that you would find in most gyms in the U.S. If you're coming from the U.S. These are most items. You're going to have your Lifetime Fitness equipment.
Yeah. And so I didn't sign up for the pass. He did. So he did the $99 pass, and there's unlimited classes, I think. But they only offer a couple classes a day. So that was a little disappointing. So if you did sign up, you just had a few in the morning and I think one or two at night. So I think they could have a lot more classes, excuse me, than what they offer. So I didn't sign up for the pass. I'm using more of the frugal one, so saving money. And then also the only thing I really was interested in doing was the yoga, and it was at 8 o'clock. And I didn't want to commit myself to having to be there at 8 o'clock a.m., especially with the time change going across the Atlantic. So, and I do yoga, do it on my own. So that's what I was doing. I also wanted to work more on my upper body. So I did use the machines to do that, and then also did just the bike because I didn't do any walking on the treadmill because I was hopping up and down those steps. One of the things that I do like to do on cruises is the outdoor jogging track that they have, and I couldn't use that at all this trip because it was just too windy going across the Atlantic. So that was a little disappointing. It's so beautiful to walk on the track when you're on a ship and you're, seeing the water and the ocean and stuff. So that was a little disappointing, but it was just too windy and cold. I know some people bundle up and they did it, but this Georgia girl wasn't going to do that. So I didn't do that at all. And
this isn't a normal track either. It doesn't go around the ship. It's just on one side.
Yeah. So didn't do that. And then we did get off on one of the ports. We did walk about 8 miles that day. So we got our steps in for sure on that particular day. Okay, so life on board. This is a transatlantic cruise, so there are a lot of sea days. And so they did have a lot of activities for you to do. They had different seminars and things like that. So we'll get to the activities later, but there are a lot of sea days. So you have to proactively try to plan if you want to do activities, some of the things that they have there for you to do. Also, the internet. The internet with our package, I think we had 300 minutes. It wasn't as difficult to do as I thought, but you have to make sure you log out. And I made that mistake. I was been kind of like hoarding my minutes to make sure we're ready for this when we get off the ship to prepare for our port, and I wanted to do some last minute research and things like that. But we were in the uh, one of the dining facilities, and someone came up and started talking. I forgot to log out, so I lost all those minutes. So you have to make sure you log out when you get into the internet here, because you will lose your minutes if you don't log out. So this kind of wonky that way. You get a certain amount of minutes, you log in, and then you have to log out each time because you will burn through your minutes. That and then the internet it's okay. It's not great, but
No,
um,
I think if you're just trying to check email, do some basic research, I think you'll be fine. Internet seemed to work well for those type of activities. Like she said, you got to log out and save your minutes. There is opportunity to upgrade if you have to. If you're coming on and if there's a deal or special where you can get unlimited, depending on how much you use your phone, what type of user you are with your phone, if you can get unlimited for a pretty good price, then yes, I would definitely recommend that because it does take a bit of effort trying to log in, and then it takes a bit of effort to try to make sure that you're logged out. So logging in, logging out, all that is going to take some effort, but if you have an unlimited package, yeah, I would definitely recommend that if you can do it. You don't mind spending a couple extra 50 to 100 bucks for it, then yeah, it's definitely well worth it.
yeah. And for me, it's not worth it. It was nice for me with the internet what they gave us, the 300 minutes, because I was just sent a note to my family, hey, I'm here, I'm on the ship, I'm okay, and we're basically at sea, and it was a chance to really kind of unplug, and you don't realize how much you're tethered to your phone, constantly checking it. So it was nice to kind of unplug and not do that, and so I figured the emails and things could wait. So yeah, it was not bad. The internet's not bad. It's just your preference and what you want to do. As far as working, I don't know how effectively it's you can use it to work with, but just to do basics, like Kevin was saying, I think it's okay for that. Meeting people on board, I think that's like the main thing you can do on this cruise because it's a lot of sea days. We met some fantastic people here on this ship, and it's nice. Because we're so excited, and I'm passionate about traveling, so it's a wonderful opportunity to meet so many people who are just as passionate about traveling and hear all their stories and things they've done. I've gotten so many travel tips just being on this ship and meeting people, so it's been fantastic in that regards. And yeah, we've had a really good time. I think the people really kind of made this cruise enjoyable.
Yeah, I would second that. If you want a inexpensive way to be entertained, then you sit down and you have a few drinks with a few people, and they will tell you that the life story in this cruise here was primarily older. I would say people in their late 60s to early 70s, and they have some interesting stories. And it's not about their grandkids all the time, and what's going on, but where they're from and how they got to retirement.
hmm Yeah, so it's been really nice. Like you said, mostly older crowd, mostly retirees, 50s, 60s, 70s. There's some 80-year-olds, and but yeah, been very interesting cruise. Just the people that you meet here have been great. Okay, so next category, activities on board. So there are a lot of shows. They have, of course, the dances, the performances. They have comedy, they have the different seminars you can go to. And like I said, the main thing is just basically meeting people, or you could do nothing but relax and recharge. And you want to tell them about the TV situation because you watch a little bit
Yeah,
more than I
and
do.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to the shows also because
hmm
depending on who you are and what you like, culturally, shows were not, and I wasn't impressed with the shows. The comedy was okay, but depending on who you are and what you got to, get out of the shows. TV itself, it was not your regular cable station satellite TV, and so you're going to get about two movie channels, I think it is, two news channels, MSNBC and Fox
And BBC.
and BBC.
Yeah, BBC
Yeah,
was really
BBC
good. Yeah.
was really a good station. You got a sports station, but most of the sports is European sports, rugby, soccer, some tennis. They did show the Masters, and they one night while we were on board, they did have the men's Final Four. They didn't have the women's, which was a little disappointing. Wanted to see South Carolina in the women's Final Four, and they didn't have that game on, but they did have the men's Final Four on, Purdue and UConn. So it just kind of depends a lot what you like. If you don't want to do anything, you just want to chill in your room, take it easy. Yep, order you some room service with a fee, or go up to the Garden Cafe, get what you want to eat, and then come back to your room. And there's plenty of stuff that because I did discover a couple movies that I probably never would have dreamed of watch were on, and because that was the only thing on, I watched it and found out I did enjoy it.
Now, as far as laundry is to me was kind of pricey. We did do the bag thing where you put all your laundry in. They have a promotion where it's $34, but that can quickly add up if you just do the individual items. So we did use that promotion once during this time. And then I have like a laundry bar soap that we use to kind of wash things out and hang up, to kind of get us through the 10 days. Unfortunately, excuse me, there's no laundry facility where you can do your own laundry. So we end up using that service. One of the nice things too about this cruise is just waking up every morning to all the beautiful views, looking out of the ocean. That was really nice. But weather-wise, it was very cold, very windy. So you didn't have the pool deck. So to me, it kind of made the size of the ship feel smaller, like shrink the ship space wise, because now you have more people congregated on the main areas of the ship, because not as many people could use you had some pretty hardy people that would be out there in the hot tub and out sitting on the deck, no matter how cold it was, but I wasn't one of those. There wasn't that many people out there. So that was a little disappointing that it wasn't a little bit warmer than what I would like. And it was very rocky. Like today is just, hopefully this video is not all wonky, but it was very rocky today in our last leg. And first couple days of the cruise was very rocky and the ship moved a lot. So I don't know if it's the Atlantic this time of year. We ran into a couple storms and things like that. So just know that going in.
Hey, and then let me just talk about this thing with laundry. So if you are coming over for 12 days, pack enough clothes where you don't have to even deal with laundry. You don't have to worry about doing the promotion, because we're staying longer. You'll see some of this in the follow-up videos. We had to deal with it. And if you are, and you're going to do the workout, you got the gym, yeah, that bar soap, laundry bar soap is a great thing. So you can kind of wash out your sweaty stuff every day if you want to do the spin class. In the spin classes, in that class pass, those are pretty much every day except port days. So in this transatlantic trip, you can do a class every day, and if you need to wash out your clothes or a shirt or something like that, you could. Or if you don't want to have to deal with that, you just pay a little money to the cruise line and let those guys wash it out. Remember, I'm not the frugal one. I'm the one that's looking to be a little more comfort, so I'm not doing all that. But the views are great, depending on what type of cabin you've got. The Atlantic is rough. The Mediterranean right now is even rougher. So, so just if you deal with seasickness or you got any other issues like that, motion sickness, Definitely bring your sea bands
So I have on sea bands,
and get your Dramamine.
patches. Yeah.
And a couple tips that we heard from people today of, sitting down talking to them, green apples. And the ship has, I just thought they were putting green apples out because it was a nice thing to do, but they're putting green apples out because there's a secret to eating green apples if you get seasick. So, green apples, what was the other one she said?
Green apples, ginger ale. Yeah, ginger ale, green
Ginger
apples.
ale.
Yeah,
Okay.
things like that.
It's
So
supposed to help with seasickness.
yeah,
So,
now I've been huddled in the room, so he's been out and about. I've been huddled in the cabin, so starting to feel a little bit better now. But yeah, it's been rocky today. Okay, so as far as itinerary, this was a 12-day transatlantic cruise, and we had two stops, Gibraltar and Alicante. We didn't make it to Gibraltar in time because we had engine problems. And Kevin kind of guessed it because he's like, huh, it's like we're slowing down. And we found out later it was engine problems. And so we did not make it to Gibraltar. So that was disappointing because you only had two stops. And so we didn't make it to Gibraltar. Fortunately for us, we've been to Gibraltar before when we were in Europe. And so we had an opportunity to go there before, but I was just a little disappointed because I wanted to do a video and share that with you guys. I did feel bad for some of the people on the ship that specifically took this cruise because they wanted to go to Gibraltar and they didn't get a chance to do that. So that was disappointing.
You have to expect changes and that things don't always go according to plan when you're traveling. There have been so many times where I've been frustrated, angry, and disappointed during our travels. There are many times where I just wanted to pack up my suitcase, go home, and pick up my TV remote. But I continued to tough it out. I adapted the line from Forrest Gump movie about chocolate. Travel is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
What they did do, though, was they made up for it. We got to Alicante earlier, and we arrived in port earlier, and we got to spend more time in Alicante.
Is Alicante in Spain?
Alicante is in Spain, and we absolutely loved it. So check out that video about that port, and that's definitely one we will have to head back and check out again.
Alicante, you want to go back?
Alicante, Spain. Okay, so would we do another transatlantic cruise? You want to go first or me?
Sure, I'll go first. Yeah, it was good. I didn't have any issues with it. It was coming over. I was used to the time change.
As far as me, yes, I would do another transatlantic cruise. I think I would do it a little bit later if it's possible. I don't know if they have any cruises that are a little bit later in April than the one that we took. So hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer. I don't know. So I would do that. Definitely would like to try a Trans-Pacific or somewhere, maybe leapfrogging across the Pacific coming back. I did like the gradual time change because I really struggle with jet lag. It could be an hour, 2 hour change, and I struggle. So I'm hoping that this will make a difference when we actually get to Rome tomorrow. The gradual time change, because usually I know we did Europe before, I was like a zombie for a whole week, and so I'm hoping that some of that will not be an issue for this because we did do it this way. Also, it's very relaxing. I spent the whole first week just sleeping in and just doing absolutely nothing. So I love that. And on top of that, we met some really wonderful, wonderful people doing this transatlantic cruise. And then I thought the cost was great too. And so I'll talk about the costs as well.
No more comments. You guys come on and enjoy.
Yes, and will we do NCL again? Yes, we've actually booked 2 cruises already for the end of this year and next year. And we will be talking about those cruises because we do feel like it's good value for your money. And we learned a lot of tips and tricks on this cruise that already have saved us money on some of those trips, the trips that we have, the cruises coming up. So we would definitely do it again. We thought the staff was very friendly. They're helpful. And we're looking forward to sailing on Norwegian again. So would I do Epic again? I don't know. I like to do different ships to get different experiences. I have done cruises in the past where I've done the same ship again. I would want to do it right away, but I probably could do this one again if I, got a good deal on it. I would do it again. So So thanks so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share our videos with others. Take care, everyone, and safe travels.